Welcome. I'm Jamila, and you are live in the Dream Studio, where we partner with you to create a life without limits. Today, we're going to talk about the power of reflection. Each of you has paid a price to live your dreams, and there are certain things about your story, certain principles that you can learn that you will be able to harness and that will help you be more effective with pursuing passion and creating a life without limits. We cannot underestimate the importance of stopping before we grow. Stop meaning take a step back, think about the situations and the things that we can learn about that are reflective in our own story, organize our thoughts, and then proceed forward with our goals, our dreams, and our visions based on the principles that we learn. Next, when we take the opportunity to grow, we're able to set goals that are based on our reality, and our realities are simply shaped by what we see, not with our eyesight, but with our mind sight. We're able to create an opportunity, and we are able to work towards those goals. When I was 25 years old, I was a training and development manager at a Fortune 500 company that was going through a merger and an acquisition. And I was part of the transition team that was going to look at how that merger and acquisition was going to go forth, and quite frankly, to assess the talent within both organizations. And my voice was given a platform in that forum to determine who stayed and who went. As a 25-year-old, I was a recent college graduate. I was single, I was unmarried, I had a very limited perspective on life, although I thought my perspective was very broad. And my voice was given credence and was given a platform to make a determination and make a decision regarding the lives and the livelihood of people that had been in the workplace for 25 plus years, and I'd only been on the planet for 25 years. I watched as people who had spent a lifetime with the organization were given 1 week's pay for every year they worked with the company, and they were given a box and had to put all of their personal belongings in it and walk out of the building. These are people who had sold a lifetime into the company and into the organization, and they ended up receiving a handshake that wasn't so golden. And the survivor's guilt was just as bad. For those of us that remained with the organization, there was a fear that permeated throughout the organization that I can't describe, as people would make decisions based on fear and would wonder whether or not they were next. For those that were responsible for leadership within the organization, they made decisions based on personnel, based on staffing, based on who was going to do what within the organization, simply based on the limited interaction that they had with us on a one-on-one level in a short period of time, and quite frankly, also based on the opinion of others. That event created a critical moment in my life that caused me to stop, to take a step back, to gain some more perspective, to think about what I wanted to do for myself, to think about the opportunities that were presented to me, and to create my own plan. I cannot describe to you what it was like to see people that in hindsight at one point in their career were just as enthusiastic as I was, just as young, just as eager, just as invested into the company and into the organization, leave with a spirit of desperation and a spirit of fear that has literally seared itself onto my memory until this day. So here's what I learned. Never assign permanent value to a temporary situation. There were people within that organization that didn't look at this as a job or as a career, but looked at it as a lifestyle. And when you assign lifestyle and lifetime type value to things that are temporary, that sets you up for failure and disappointment and devastation that could be very difficult to overcome. The next thing is to understand that your supervisor will never assign value to you that exceeds his or her current capacity. So in other words, your supervisor and people that you report to will only see you through the lens of being their subordinate. They will never promote you beyond their current level of promotion, and they will never give you monetary consideration, or in other words, you'll never make more money than they currently make. So understand that that relationship between you and your supervisor should always be kept in perspective and looked at through the correct lens. And finally, I came to understand the value of dreaming. This is where my dreams got ignited. I was a human resources professional, and I understood that no matter what the organization was, that there was only going to be so much money in the bucket for the budget for that year. There was only going to be so many opportunities created. There was only going to be a limited amount of stores that were going to be open, or units for consideration for people to be promoted into. And we're talking about creating a life without limits. And so when you're in situations that are limit-based, there's only going to be so much money, so many positions, so many opportunities. Although those might be vast or might be great, there still will be a ceiling or a finite number that is available. But your dreams, what you have on the inside of you, is without limitation. So this is where the birth of creating a life without limits began. And this is where I got the catalyst and the drive to be an entrepreneur that ultimately ended up with me being and creating and being the founder of the Dream Studio. Now, this was not without a fair amount of failures along the way. Although I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I pursued everything from real estate to Mary Kay. But what I learned is that I wanted to be in the purpose business. I wanted to sell passion. I wanted to sell destiny. I wanted to sell greatness. And so in order to do that, I had to birth the Dream Studio, which is really each of you partnering with me and sharing in my vision today. So understand that your vision and your dream and your story and what you learn from your story will help you harness what it is that's inside of you and will help you pursue passion in ways that you can't even imagine today. Learning to stop and grow will reveal things to you about your destiny that will harness the power of your purpose. We love to hear from you in the Dream Studio. Follow us on Twitter at Jamila Chambers. Send us an email at info@jamilachambers.net. Like our Facebook page or visit our website at www.jamilachambers.net. Remember, excellence is a lifestyle, not an event. Choose today to be excellent. Until next time, I'm Jamila, and you are live in the Dream Studio.